Hey guys, welcome back to the second devlog covering my game Analog, the Backrooms. In this log I wanted to cover the player character, its creation, and implementation into the game. Enjoy. So the first step was to get the character modeled out. I chose to do a default A pose off of the base mesh of CC4's model, simply because I'll be rigging it in CC4 just to make my life easier. This is probably the one time where you can call me a lazy dev. But I chose to model this in ZBrush, which would allow me a lot more control over the fine details of the model, which I was going for a more nanite ready model just to test out UE5's new skin mesh nanite settings. After doing some quick UV work in Rhizome UV, it was then time to import the mesh into Substance Painter to get him all painted up and give him that classic Backrooms yellow hazmat suit look. Once I had all the textures baked out and he was looking good in Substance, it was then time to bring him into CC4 and get him all rigged up, and just fix any sort of mesh weight issues and get him ready for exporting to UE5. Once everything was imported, I then started to create the master material for the character itself. I wanted to make sure that I added in some functionality for players to choose their own colors and customize their hazmat suits. So that's what I'm doing here, just testing out color wheel, making sure that the color masking is working appropriately. And then looking at the master material, we open it up, oh. You didn't see that. Wait a moment. As I was saying, the master material actually takes into account new specularities, such as specular roughness and beta roughness, since I'm using the new substrate model. The next thing I needed to tackle up front was replication. I chose to go with the plugin as GMC, as I'm definitely not a programmer or a network engineer. So I'm going to rely on somebody that actually has that proficiency behind them to do it for me. GMC is actually really nice as it replicates everything for you within the component, but it does take a little bit of initial setup and there is a slight learning curve to use the actual plugin itself. GMC is basically just a modified movement component, and it takes its own base class and pawn controller. So it also has its own movement update tick, which I'm showing here. Everything is set off of that tick as far as whether to play the montage, to set booleans to true or false, to update variables. So with replication done, it was now actually time to tackle my animation blueprint and start setting up all of the logic to get the character moving, such as blend spaces, offsets, animations, and etc. Now with all of that initial setup out of the way, it's time to finally test out the character. as you just saw, there's an entire inventory system which I've implemented. It's actually credit to another YouTuber. It's Avaris Akadu. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. Go check him out, give him a sub. If you're looking for an excellent inventory system tutorial, he's got you covered. And with that, it concludes the second devlog. Thank you all for tuning in and checking it out. I hope you had as much fun watching as I did creating the character. More devlogs are soon to follow. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.